Welcome to Nerds with Dice. We're here to play games. Woo! Before I get started and start introducing myself and this amazing cast, I did seriously want to shout out Nerds with Dice for letting us play this game. You can find links for merch and YouTube and Discord and all those other fun like connectivity things called social media in the chat if you want to find out more about them. Today we're going to be playing a game called Here There Be Monsters. It's a great indie game made by Wendy Yu. I will forever be shouting out about this game, and I'm so hyped to be able to share it finally on an actual live stream. But before we get into that, I'm going to have my cast introduce themselves. Can I actually start with Satine?
Hello, everyone. I'm Satine Bonnet. Pronouns my name and none, and I'll be playing Patricia Erla Brown, aka Big Earl, and all pronouns for them.
Thank you so much. Rain, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. I'm Rain, they, them pronouns. I'm playing Daff, who uses they, it, and she pronouns.
Thank you so much. Chanel Lees, can you introduce yourself?
Hi there, my name is Chanel Lees. My voice doesn't usually sound like this. I lost it, but I'm finding it back. And I'm playing Max Morgan, Accidental Gorgon, who uses she, her pronouns just like I do.
I love that that rhymes, by the way. I just realized that. I'm real intelligent and good at noticing patterns and rhymes.
I did
Alleg-
it by accident.
yes. Yeah. Woo! And bringing us home, Allegro, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Allegro. You're silly. Usually I'm a siren on the internet, but today I'm just me. I use they any pronouns, and today I will be playing Jack, who uses they her pronouns, our resident plant person.
Perfect. Yeah, usually you can't say that you're a siren right now if you're not actually a siren. It's in the rules or something. I don't know. But with that, let's go ahead and get started and go venture into this town of ours. Halloween is in the air. The telltale scent of pumpkin spice punctuates the sight of red and orange leaves that lay scattered across the street. Inflatable ghosts and plastic skeletons dot lawns, hollowed out pumpkins grin at passersby, and spooky lights illuminate rooftops. But all is not well in the usually sleepy town of Crossroads. Rather than planning the best routes to get the most candy, parents are discussing staying home. The local college has issued a warning to students. The papers are all talking about the same thing: the string of violent, senseless murders that have struck this town. 3 bodies have turned up, each entirely unconnected except for the way their corpses have been desecrated. Each has had their limbs twisted and bent, and black liquid found around the mouths. But that's not your purview. You work for or run the local haunted bed and breakfast, aptly called Dead and Breakfast. It's there we began on October 17th at the creaky, leaking, and groaning building at the edge of town. Dead and Breakfast has a solid 3.2 rating on Google Maps, a slightly better 3.6 on Yelp, and was part of Michelin's 2023 100 haunted locations across America you should probably visit. You could call it a local landmark, albeit one prone to being covered in toilet paper by the local teens, but for you guys, it's a little bit more than just that. It is home. It's there that we open up early in the morning before you're technically even seeing any customers. Who wakes up first?
I think
It's
Jack
Daff.
is up with this. Oh, is it Daff?
Well, since Daff is an old lady, or looks like an old lady.
Yeah, Daff, why don't
Yeah.
you go ahead and start by describing at least what you physically look like?
Yeah, so physically, Daff looks like just a generic old white lady. Probably like hair up in a bun. Usually has like a bag with knitting supplies. Um, secretly, though, not.
What is Daff's like true form?
So I believe I described it as Hermaeus Mora from the Elder Scrolls. So just like when they're in their normal form, they're an alien. They look sort of like these floating bubbles with like eyes and tentacles and kind of horrifying, which is how they found this body because they accidentally killed an old lady named Daphne. Uh,
As you do, really. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
So, Daff, you wake up first, and what does your morning routine look like?
well, the other thing about Daph is they are possessed by the ghost of Daphne. I think Daphne is the one who actually wakes Daph up and probably just like going around adjusting like doilies on things, dusting, just kind of like puttering around, while also like posting just the dankest of memes.
One hand adjusting doilies, the other on your phone.
Yeah, as one does.
Oh, of course. And as you are flipping through your feed, trying to find today's freshest memes, the hottest of takes and everything, Jack, you come downstairs to the main portion of Dead and Breakfast. And Jack, what do you look like? And especially, what do you look like this early in the morning?
I think Jack is a bit of a morning person being relative. Jack kind of looks like this sort of like late 20s, early 30s, sort of like Black human, kind of like deep brown skin, hair kind of in like a colorful wrap. Always got practical work clothes on. Today it's probably a flannel and some jeans, and their trusty tool belt as always. I think if they were to take off their fun head wrap, you would see these purple and green locks that, upon closer inspection, are a bit more leafy and flowery than the average person probably has. And yeah, I think probably just getting all of the creaks out of their definitely not wooden body.
Most people wake up like a little stiff, but Jack is like really gotta stretch it out. Like
Gotta really work on it.
there's a pun I desperately want to make between like lumber and limber, but I'm not quite able to come up with it. So I just want everyone to come up with one yourself.
They're not a lumberjack, that's for sure.
How dare you be funnier than me in the first 5 minutes of my own live stream? But Jack, you come downstairs, and it's probably a very normal occurrence to see Daff multitasking with phone in one hand and neatly organizing in the other.
Morning, Daff. How are the memes?
Good. So good. Just absolutely fire this morning. I guess this early over the table, would there be any customers? Because it is a bed and breakfast.
I think that it obviously depends on the day. And we'll say that due to the recent uptick in crime, you have been seeing less business for like overnight customers, which is a shame. Of course, this is supposed to be kind of your busy season. So for right now, there's no one else down here with you.
Okay, then they definitely like threw their. I assume it's like a hollow projection almost, but also kind of keeps all their squishiness in. But they've just like extended a couple of their tentacles so that they're like multitasking with all of the hands.
Amazing.
3 different phones. You gotta boost the algorithm by liking your own stuff.
Like that's not Jack's phone bill. Jack's not worried about that.
I'm surprised.
Also not Daft's phone bill.
We don't know whose phone bill it is. Somebody's.
It's Daphne's. They haven't shut it off yet. It's gone to collections.
To be fair, I don't think anybody knows that she's dead, other than like Dalfrix, which is Daft's full name.
So many implications in that sentence that we're. It's fine. But Satine and Shalise, between your two characters, who do you think wakes up also fairly early?
Max is not an early riser. Absolutely not.
I think Patrice is an early riser, but they're indecisive in the morning time because
Mm.
they have so many skins to choose from. So they are a literal right now a ball of fire, um, going around their little workshop and like, oh, do I want to be a a bear centaur today? I think that's maybe a little bit too much. Or do I want to be like a mermaid kind of creature? And then they go around like in this ball of fire and they choose one body that is their like go-to body. As they're hovering over it, the head of it is upwards like this, and there's a slit like right down the middle. And as the fireball slowly goes into that little section of the head, the skin wraps over, and what you see is a short, um let's see, short androgynous black person that has bantu knots and a falumi kind of braid in the front. They are dressed to the nines, so as well with skin, they are masterful with fabric. So they are like in a very colorful pattern dress and top, and they're wearing sandals already all day. They're a sandals person.
Just comfy. Respect it though.
Comfy.
And so, Big Girl, do you come downstairs and join your kind of fellows on the first floor?
Yes. So I just walk downstairs and I'm like, hey Jack, hey Daff, and I say to Daff, so are you doing the May Mays today?
No, it's
You posted the
me
May
May.
Mays. The what?
Me May. Me
Me
May.
May? I
Mhm.
don't want. You could explain to me, like, I know you tried to explain to me like last time, but I was so confused with just the cat moving. I mm-mm, mm-mm. Is there
Yeah.
anything to drink?
It wants to has hamburger.
I think Big Earl looks so confused about why is it has, what is cheeseburger, like it looks very confused. They know what a cheeseburger is, but why would a cat want a cheeseburger, and why is it in the phone? And
There's
it's
a
just so confused.
there's a pot of coffee and some jasmine tea steeping in the kitchen if you need.
Does like the snapping thing and it's go right there.
Is this
And
just
it
like a all finger guns household?
Yes.
queer finger guns, universal. And it is about as Big Earl, you thankfully go, or well, you are thankful to have the opportunity for tea and or coffee. I say and or because really, who knows? Um,
Yeah, I'm definitely not cooking. So like if anybody prepares something for me, I will take it.
and it's funny you mentioned that as the like back door to Dead and Breakfast, which goes in through the kitchen, opens, and you see the primary cook here walks in. She doesn't live here. It's Asha. She is a medium height, f- you know, feminine appearing. I say that kind of as a question mark because she is wearing a niqab. So you basically see, she is an outline of humanoid figure dressed today in kind of a light tan one, and she wears gloves and sunglasses even inside. And so, really, you've never seen her face or really her at all, but she cooks really well and she always shows up on time, and she's happy to be here. And she would give you kind of a polite nod, big girl, and just say, good morning,
And what's her name again?
Asha.
Morning, Asha. How are you doing? How was your sleep?
Very good. I hope you slept well.
I tried, but I had so many decisions going on. Like, okay, question. Does Asha knows we're all monsters right now, right? Monsters right now, right?
Yes, and you would know above the table and in the table, like in the table, on the table. Asha is a headless person, so she covers up the lack of a head by wearing the full niqab and everything, and the glasses. She's in the community, as I think you all call it.
Yes, in the community. I think, yeah, that's the best way to say it. There's the community in the community. But Big Girl just continues saying, like, I have like this idea for like something new and unique, in depending on what we go for the haunted house. I don't know if I could order the limbs like right now.
That's true. It's only a few more weeks until Halloween, so that would be a very quick turnaround. But if anyone could do it, I think you'd be able to. You're quite talented.
I think definitely Big Earl is like, just smiles at you like a cute smile and just says thank you. I try.
Nice. And then Asha would also be, walking towards the front of the kitchen and poke her, head, her upper torso out of the door to the kitchen, just be like, hello, Duff. Hello, Jack. Just letting you know I'm here getting the kitchen ready.
Good.
Thank you,
good.
thank you.
I'm not
Hopefully,
allowed in there.
that's true. Hopefully, there's a reason to make some things soon enough.
Hopefully, this murder business is just dreadful. And, well, I don't particularly like reading the news here. A lot of it seems very insular and matters that are kind of petty. There's always so many arguments about trash cans. I never quite understand why people are so concerned with when trash is picked up, as long as it's picked up. But anyways, I'm just getting ready. Call if you need anything.
Better the trash cans than, what we've been getting. But yeah, petty, definitely. We'll holler if we need you. Thank you.
And I'd say about now, you hear from also upstairs, not Max, but another occupant of the house, kind of tiny pitter patter of footsteps, and then jumping onto the landing, just skipping the last few steps. You hear kind of a squeak noise, and then when did we move the carpet? As this tiny child's doll walks in. Again, probably think off-brand Cabbage Patch Kid, wearing a little outfit that, let's be real, Big Earl probably made for him. And with this forced smile that can never really be anything other than a smile, this is Happy Henry, who is another employee of Dead and Breakfast.
Sorry, Henry, that was me. I forgot.
Look, just because I'm only made out of stuffing and whatever gave me sentience doesn't mean I can't feel things.
Said I'm sorry. I forgot.
It's
When you get to
fine.
be this old.
Yeah, old. Just because I was made in the 90s doesn't mean I'm young. And he kind of is walking towards the kitchen and just like, is there any coffee?
Yep,
think-
on the pot.
I think there is already a coffee I think I have like a teacup ready for Henry, because every single time it's like a moment with each other, like, here is your coffee, here is my tea, and we're having this moment together. Because I feel like they sense that they're old soul too, even if they're made in their bodies made in the 90s. So like they have this moment together.
And Henry's just like, thank you, some consideration. And he has to kind of like hop onto the like foot part of the stool to the counter, and then hop onto the stool itself, and then the counter. Um, in a feat of somehow incredible athleticism for a stuffed doll. But soon he is in fact sipping at this cup of coffee. And we don't worry about where the coffee goes. Don't worry about it. It's always like this.
Yeah, mine goes somewhere too. It's just combusting to flames in my body somewhere.
Burn. Coffee burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
And I think with hearing that commotion, though, Max, even if you were not previously awake, you are now certainly awake.
Yeah, I think Max has been awake for a while but didn't want to be. I think she might have woken up when Big Earl was kind of figuring out who they want to be today, and then definitely heard Happy Henry like hit the floor real hard. Um but I think it's hearing the noise and also just hearing the amount of life that's coming from the downstairs area and getting that little bit of like, oh, the day has started FOMO. And that's what kind of brings her out of her bed. So she starts to get ready, brushes her teeth and all of that. And eventually makes it down the stairs. And she's got like a black hoodie on with like some those like smasher hoodies. She's got something like that with like the flames. And she's got dark, warm brown skin. She's wearing these like red frame glasses. They're not really sunglasses, but they are tinted. Um, and she's got like silver piercings. Oops. She got a piercing on her right eyebrow. She got septum piercings. She's got some big hoop earrings on, and she's got these like kind of like slightly shinier than you would expect, kind of dreadlocks. So they're this ivory. They're not really blonde. They're more ivory, like almost like marble, or like a Grecian statue, that kind of thing. Um, and behind her glasses, she's got these like silvery white reptilian like slitted eyes. She got these black thick eyebrows. She's always kind of like a little bit grumpy looking. She got like I would say she has like a very stony expression all the time. And she's got these little dimples. So she looks tough, but she also look kind of cute because she got these dimples. And she kind of like frowningly kind of comes down the stairs. I think she's got her phone out, but she's not really. She's just kind of like sliding back and forth between like the home screen and the app screen, because she doesn't know what she like wants to say good morning, but everybody's already talking. So like, she doesn't really know what to do with herself. But she's making her way into like the space where everybody else is like enjoying each other's company.
Does Max have like a favorite drink?
I think Max likes coffee, but Max puts way too much milk in it for someone who likes coffee.
Jack's got you. Jack's got you. Just the silent slide of the mug over.
I think when Max sees the mug come over and she like puts her hands around it, feels it warm, that's when she kind of looks up and she's like, "Good morning." She takes a little sip of the coffee.
Morning, Max. Welcome to the land of the living.
Yeah. What are y'all up to today?
Well, normally we'd already be a bit busy, but all things considered, some extra time to make some changes around the house, I guess.
Guess so.
Henry looks up from his cup and is like, yeah, Jack, I wanted to re-pitch that idea that I mentioned last year. I just think that we got to go back to the classics and we really should consider the haunted puppet house. I just think we really could do some great stuff with it. Like, Chucky is getting a remake. Shout out to Chucky, most famous stuffed doll in existence. Shout out to him. We all look up to him.
All of us, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
When Henry started talking, Max definitely did a little because like she saw him but she didn't see him because it's like first thing in the morning, and like her hair kind of like almost does like the Studio Ghibli. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I never know. You know that brrr, kind of
Yeah.
like the wind thing, but it makes kind of like a noise when it does it.
Yes, that is something you proposed last year that you want me to reconsider.
I just think you should think about it.
Yeah, I'll keep thinking about it.
Come on, Jack. I could be like the puppet master kind of like situation. 8 arms. Come on, 8 arms.
It writes itself. Ah.
High five.
He doesn't have fingers, by the way. They didn't like give him fingers with it, so it's just the like stuffed doll, like little.
Oh, he's just a little guy. I think that's
What again?
that's how Jack is looking at it. Like, yep, just a little guy. Yeah, we can put that on the top of our list for next year, because we definitely already, technically speaking, already started on this year's theme. It might be a little hard to change at this point, but next year, there's always next year.
Always next year. Daff, what do you think? Come on, buddy. You could do you could possess stuff. That's cool.
I mean, to be fair, I already possess stuff. Every day. Every day is a haunted house.
I mean, yeah, but like you're not giving me anything to work with. Okay. Goes back to the coffee. Just
Meanwhile, Daff is just like sending Max a bunch of like ancient Greek memes.
Max is like Max like picks up her phone. She sees like gets the ping, picks it up, and then just kind of like across the table at Daff for like a real long time.
It's funny.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Max is actually a little bit impressed that they like make sense. Like the memes actually make sense. So she's like trying not to laugh at them. They're a little bit funny, but still she's just like, mm-mm. You did not just do that to me this early in the morning.
It's too early. It's too early. I get it. Been up since 3, so this is late.
Why? Daff.
Ask her.
Daphne, why? Why would you do that?
and almost coincidentally, as Daff, you're scrolling, you see someone do a redraw of the meme. That's the woman who's like, I didn't get any sleep because of y'all. Y'all not getting any sleep because of me.
I think Big Earl comments. I know like crocheting can get really intense at like 3 a.m. in the morning time, but it was a whole blanket. The speed, Daphne is.
Oh,
name
it
is
was.
Is her name Daphne?
It was more than one. There were like 6 different blankets this morning.
I understand being up until 3 doing something, but why would you wake up at 3? Like, why would you do that?
I don't understand the human circadian something.
I think the word is rhythm. That's okay. That's all right.
You just
I had something
sometimes
to say. It just got me. As you're having this discussion, though, Jack, you do see your phone buzz, and you have a message from Daisy Lamar, who you have spoken to Daisy before. She's also part of the community, as we're just going to keep calling it because it's way funnier than anything else I could come up with. And you know that she is the town coroner, and she's a vampire. These are related. She texts you, heads up. Cops think the deaths are connected to the dead and breakfast. Pig coming your way.
Okay. I'm gonna send a quick message back, just being like, why would they think that? And thanks.
You get back the shrug emoji, the like little like.
All right. I think Jack just kind of sets coffee mug down, kind of gets up to look at everybody and goes, change of plans. I think further renovations are going to have to take a little bit of a back seat for a moment. Sounds like we've got the pig mobile on its way. I don't know why yet, so don't panic. It's going to be fine. But cops apparently think we might be involved somehow with the murders. So, lovely first thing in the morning wake up call.
Did I hex the car?
Let's hold off on that one, maybe, pending how this goes. I think maybe we just keep it chill, keep it normal. Normal. How
I'll be in the other room then.
I guess, yeah, the question being is like,
do you even have a warrant?
Do they even have a warrant? Hopefully not.
You know what that means? We don't talk to them.
We don't talk. Well, I will talk to them, but they will not come inside.
Henry, I think, is also like, Usha, do you hear that? Sounds like there's bacon on the menu. He like goes to slap his knee, but doesn't make any sound. It just kind of pillows like hitting each other,
Jack is trying not to laugh at that one because it was a little bit funny.
Yeah, Jack, you're gonna need to take the lead. You're gonna need to take the lead.
I was gonna say, this is kind of a small town. Like, I'm gonna guess not, but is anybody from our community, like beyond Daisy, like related to the cops in any way?
I think like related to the cops is kind of vague.
It's like on the force versus like directly adjacent versus tertiary, I guess.
None of the community are like employed by like the police. Obviously Daisy is like a coroner, so she like sometimes has to work with them. And you do know that there is another member of the community who like you've probably talked to in passing, but you're not necessarily close to, who is an EMT in the town. So again, not like a member of the police force, but technically sometimes has to like work with them.
I don't even count that. Like IRL, I have to occasionally work like alongside them. I don't want to, but
Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I think it's canon that none of the monsters work
Yeah.
for the police.
None of them are what's the phrase, like blue things, I don't know. Backed by the blue, is that the thing they say? I don't
even know anymore.
Yeah.
Blue lives don't matter here.
Yeah.
Blue lives don't matter here.
Okay. So, yeah, that said, well, I guess okay, secondary question is how much do I always whenever I play the system, I always want to be like, how much do the normies know? And then I get told maybe don't say it like that, which is fair. How yeah, I guess so
A
how
little
much
funny. It's,
uh but like are we on the low key when they're around? Do we need to be haha, we're totally normal besides the fact that this is haunted house themed?
the general world state, I'm going to call it, is that officially magic and monsters and weird, like, freak shit doesn't exist. And that is obviously not true. And there's a lot of people who may not be, like, part of the community who still believe in the community, right? Um, but it might be a good idea to not have, like, Henry open the door. I don't think he can open the door. He's not tall enough.
Wouldn't make him do that. Or let him. Either or.
He actually, yeah, he lacks opposable thumbs, and he's also really short. I don't think he can open the door.
It feels a little rude to ask that
Yeah.
of him. Okay, all right. I think anyone who doesn't want to put on their disguises probably should skedaddle once you're done with breakfast. I will do my best, of course, to keep them not inside. Just in case, though.
Do you want me to stand by you, Jack? I can support you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think Jack also like shoots off a message to their mom and aunt who are also in town somewhere out there, just being like, hey, just so you know, the cops are coming to Granddad's. Hopefully they don't stay long. It's fine.
I think Max kind of looks like she's kind of tucked her hair back. She's put a scrunchie in, like a ponytail. She's put her hood up from her hoodie. I think she looks like maybe she's thinking about taking her coffee upstairs, but she also is like, people are supporting each other. She's not really sure what she wants to do. So she just kind of looks uncomfortable, just kind of like, I don't know what to do about this situation. Maybe she might just hang out like in the kitchen, like where they're sitting, and worst comes to worst, she might dip in the back in the kitchen. But I think she's just gonna hang out uncomfortably at the table.
We could leer ominously at the door. I could do that. I could do that with you.
Leer on, huh? Leer on him, huh? No, thanks.
You don't want to come outside too,
We
Maxine?
just sit there.
I mean, if everybody's going outside, maybe I'll go outside. I don't know. I'll think about it.
You don't have to. Only if you
Question,
want.
Elliot. Oh, sorry. Oh, question, Elliot. Do they know the makeup of this house? Like, can we pass off as being, if we all three of us goes outside, related?
There's like layers to that question as well. I'm just gonna acknowledge the layers there. Because like I want to answer of like, well, you don't look that related, right? Like I want to be like, no, it's like
We just call each other cuz and then they can't say nothing about it. What are they gonna do?
Oh gosh.
Black owned haunted house.
The real question is the cop white? Because of course they probably are, I'm assuming.
You don't know who's coming. I will say, like, for the record, Crossroads is a very multicultural town. It's a small town, but it's like a nice small town. It's not a sundown town. I promise I wouldn't do that to you guys.
Also,
but also cops. I think if you want to sit outside and say that you are all cousins, you are certainly able to do so. I'll put it that way.
I was just like in general because I was like we could make a plan that we're all just we're just relatives in this haunted house. We manage it, and Jack's the manager basically. Owner.
Mhm. And in fairness, like it is known that this is family run. Like Jack inherited it from granddad, so that in of itself wouldn't be like an eyebrow raiser.
Yeah, I guess Jack has taken what's left of their coffee. That definitely doesn't have any additional nutrients or dirt of any kind. Um, and we'll go sit out on the porch. This is the thing I definitely do every day: is sit on the porch with my coffee, reading the newspaper.
Do you still get a physical newspaper? That'd be really impressive, actually.
I think it adds to our charm.
Yeah,
we have
we did
physical
say we have
newspapers ready for anyone who wants that.
we still have a landline, so
And dial up.
So Jack is sitting outside reading a copy of Crossroad Times, which is the local newspaper, of course. And so Bigger, are you? How do I phrase this? Are you like right there? Are you? Because I imagine there's like windows facing out, and I do kind of have like the image you could just be standing in one of the windows looking out, like if you don't want to be right next to Jack.
I think Big Earl's gonna go outside with Jack because just to support them because in general they're nosy, one thing, and second they want to support Jack. This be as a backup.
All right, and then can I get a confirmation of where Max and Daff will be?
I think Max is mad about it, but is a little bit too concerned about like she gets more monstrous when she gets more anxious. So I think she's concerned about that, and she's gone upstairs and she's playing a video game or something in her room, and trying not to think about the what's the word, the discord in her head. That's not the word I want. The dissonance in her head about like what she wants to do and like what she's actually doing and how that makes her feel.
That's super.
Daff is standing like almost not quite face pressing against the window, but just like standing in the window.
Is she holding anything, or you just stanced?
She's doing that like kind of old person thing where just like hands clasped together.
Somehow terrifying, amazing. But yeah, so you guys are kind of settling in positions, and Asha takes Henry back into the kitchen and everything, and the two of them are kind of, buckled down. And probably about 15 to 20 minutes later, Jack and Big Earl, you see as a properly labeled police car, right? We've all seen a cruiser, comes up, gets into your parking lot, and this very, like, thin, kind of gangly guy exits the car. And he's kind of like, steps out of it, and I've assigned you a gravel parking lot. Steps onto the gravel, and kind of the crunch of his boots as he's coming over. His uniform's maybe a little bit oversized on him and has kind of awkward wrinkles in it. And he kind of yawns, waves up at you like, good morning. Officer Oinker here to just ask you a few questions.
I'm sorry, officer, what now?
Oinker.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought you said.
I have no idea why you think it's so funny.
Yeah,
It's out of character.
I can't imagine. Morning, officer.
Good morning. Are either of the two of you employed or involved in the management of this establishment?
I'd be the owner, on technically. Jack.
Nice to meet you, Jack. I'm just here to ask a few questions. It's just kind of routine. Um, you probably heard about the murders happening. You're reading the Times. I know they're reporting on it, and you do see as like you know the Times. There's probably not like the above the crease, but like below the crease is like cops still have no leads on murders in town. Like pretty big writing.
Ooh, rough for them. Anyways, just fold that onto the
Yeah.
lap. That's fine.
Um. Look, just if you've heard anything, I know you guys get travelers from out of town. If there's been anyone maybe goes out real late, comes back real early, sort of a person.
We thanks to all this, we actually haven't been getting much business. So can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but if that changes, we can let you know.
Oh, no, I'm sorry to hear that. Any other kind of suspicious people just passing through? Maybe they're not staying, but they just stop to get like a coffee or something like that.
I mean, I doubt it, but would that have happened at all in the
Um,
last couple weeks?
nothing that is like out of the normal pattern of like people will come during the day, and like come to it because hey, you were in Michelin's 2023 100 places you should probably visit in America. Not like you should visit, but maybe like if you're in the area, you know.
Uh, unfortunately, I don't think I can help you on that front. But again, if I would like this solved as much as the next person, I think.
Yeah, no, of course it's awful. We're following every lead. But before I head out, you mind if I just grab a cup of coffee or.
Uh, hey, big girl, you mind going and telling Asha we want something to go? What do you like? Sugar, creamer?
I'm watching my weight, and again, this guy's a gangly, like white, scrawny dude. I'm
I
watching
think
my weight. Just some low fat, no sugar. Thanks though.
I think Big Earl the whole entire time looked like arms crossed, just disappointed auntie kind of looking at this man. And when he said about the coffee, and you asking Big Earl to get coffee for him, Big Earl doesn't move.
All right, I'll go do that. Why don't you keep an eye on our new friend for a second? And
Definitely
I will
staring him down.
go and get the coffee. I just don't want him coming inside. I know that was a thinly veiled excuse to come inside. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go get
Jack,
him. I
are
don't
you
even
gonna
know
go
if we
inside?
do to-go cups. If I have to, I'll just give him an old mug.
Probably do sugar cups, right?
Okay.
Like that. Yeah, just paper cups. But what happens is, so Jack, you go inside and you talk to Asha, which is super easy. Just pour a quick cup. But the whole time, so Big, are you just like death staring this person?
And
And
I'm like, I just say, what makes this place suspicious to you?
oh, uh, no, nothing suspicious. We're just going around asking all kind of public spaces or hotels, places for people who maybe don't stay here. And he kind of like is doing the like he doesn't want to hold your gaze because it's incredibly awkward. And what happens is he's like
Following.
looking. He glances away and he looks into the window where Daff is and just oh sorry oh
I
you're
was gonna say,
uh,
Daff has like moved because they're possessed. I think the ghost just like lifted the body, so that now they're standing like for the cop, almost like right behind Big Earl, but inside, and they're just like waving with a creepy smile, and they're holding their knitting needles in the other hand.
Oh God. Oh, sorry. Your the grandma startled me. Sorry about that. Still kind of waking up. Oh, I don't think I need that coffee anymore.
Oh, that's too bad. I just got it.
Oh no, thanks. And here, and he'll reach into his wallet and give you like a 10. Just keep the change. Tip. I know everyone needs some help nowadays in this economy. Thanks for the coffee.
Hand it over. I guess I'll take the money for now, but that's not going into our pockets. That's fine.
And he will, do the kind of thanks. Have a good one, and let us know if you see anyone suspicious around. Any dead bodies. Have a good one. He'll kind of turn and speed walk back to his cruiser. Shut
Good
the
luck
door.
with your investigation. All right. Why do I have a feeling they're gonna be back? That's fine.
Just a
Then, oh well, we could burn it. We could go. I mean, I figured we might be taking some of those extra blankets down to the shelter later, anyway. So maybe we could just bring that with us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm. Maybe, possibly, something. The economy's in shambles. I want to know what it is about these bodies that's got them sniffing around here, and whether that means we need to check in with some of the other folks around town.
Max is making her way back downstairs. I think even though she didn't want to be around when she heard the gravel crackling from the window, I don't know if her window overlooks the parking lot, but I think she made her way to a window that overlooks and was kind of like looking out. I don't think she heard a lot, but she was looking. And so when she saw the car and heard the car go, she came back downstairs and she's rejoining the group now.
I feel like they were just like thinking over like how the bodies are just was described and everything. I wouldn't think someone would shit in their own backyard to find food. So this has to be something not one of us, the community has done. Is something, but is suspicious that they're coming here when it's a do I get the free F word?
Yeah.
That is a fucking haunted house.
That's just how we use it every episode. Is like the effing haunted house just somewhere in the. Anyways.
Ellie, did you say they were just mutilated? They weren't like eaten, right?
Yeah, so the bodies are found with they are technically intact. Nothing is missing in the sense of like organs or limbs or anything. The limbs are twisted and there seems to be like black liquid around the mouth.
Is that was all in the newspaper already?
That's been released to the public in the news. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I assume Auntie would have said something already if that sparked any recollection, but maybe today calls for a drop by the good old apothecary, just in case.
How about us talking to Daisy?
We could.
Could we get in there? And it not be obvious that we're just got investigated over here and going to the coronary office directly?
I feel like maybe we can invite Daisy over or go meet her then.
Her, and you do remember, you would know she is a vampire and the sun is up in the sky, so she's probably not coming to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would think like later in the day, but we could say she ordered something. Anybody want to go do a delivery?
I'll go.
You know, I haven't gotten out of the house.
Dream team.
Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong.
Well, we could do that. You two could go bring Daisy one of her favorites for lunch, maybe.
Do we serve alternative food? Let's just say alternative food, okay? We got vegans, we got whatever.
The opposite of that.
Yes, we have blood bags.
Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's like a limited alternative menu. A lot of people in the community who have like hyper specific dietary needs do have their own like source, right? And like some of them may still be able to consume what is considered like human food, right? It might just not be their main source of sustenance. Which, speaking of your chef, Asha comes in and she has Happy Henry like perched on her shoulder. And he's holding on to something despite her not having a head. He seems to be like holding on to like the back of her head for stability. And she would be like, the four of you should feel free to go do whatever needs to be done to get this cleared up. We can hold down the fort. And Henry's like, yeah, and if anyone comes and tries to do anything illegal, I'll cut their legs off.
Once again, Max hears Henry talk and goes, I don't like him.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, maybe we don't cut off any legs until we've all talked about it and agreed that that's a good course of action. But
what about toes? They don't need those. I don't have any toes, and I'm doing fine.
It depends on the entity. What are we gonna do with their toes? Do we really want their toes around?
Decoration.
It depends. That's what all Earl says. It depends.
It depends. Well, we can talk about that later. Jack like pretending that anything's on the table at a different time. That's not now. All right. So I don't know. Maybe a nice blood sausage like sandwich situation. A blood orange soda. I don't know. Like it's like the red wine, like chocolate milkshakes, but the red wine is a different red. Very
And that
special.
coagulate like really weirdly.
Don't worry about that.
That's why
Asha can work magic in the kitchen. Okay,
Yes.
it's fine.
I just need to confirm. Did you say a blood orange soda? Because that sounds amazing.
It did. Honestly, if we're talking about like actual blood orange soda, good. Recommend.
I kind of want to go. That would be really suspicious to go.
In
where the
fairness, I
bodies
will give you
were.
this because this is knowledge that like you would probably have, if you've been following like the cases with any amount of knowledge. That's a great sentence. The bodies were all found in different locations in like public spaces, so it would be kind like technically weird, but not like unusual if you were to go to those spaces, right? They're not in like the forest in the middle of nowhere. It's been more public than that.
Has there been like a timeline set up yet? Like, has this body shown up because of, and then 5 days later another body shows
Timeline?
up? 5 days later, is there like a what's it called? Like a MO? Yes,
Yeah.
timeline.
I'm so glad that you asked. All you know is that as far as what has been released to the public, now I'm going to emphasize the word public there. The bodies have been appearing ever since October 7th. Is now the 17th, so over like the last 10 days, and there have been 3 bodies found. And that's all you found out for now. Could be worth looking into.
Okay, what is the plan? So we have one person going to the that word.
Antes. To antes.
The antes. We have another plan of maybe delivering a blood milkshake to somebody, but that's maybe, do we even know where they live? And do we want to open the door to some lights for them?
I think, are they at the coroner's office? Is like the whole deal that they can kind of go during the day and that they're just like underground in the
as far as you're aware, Daisy is probably at the coroner's office. You might as well text. You do have her phone number. You can text her to confirm where she is.
Oh, does Big Girl has it?
Except for me.
Jack had it. The Daisy texted Jack earlier, so I can. I guess I'll I'll probably just put in a text like as if Daisy had ordered something like, "Oh, your order for this is confirmed. ETA."
What did you say, Rain? Because I didn't.
Oh no, I was gonna say you can go ahead and say whatever you were gonna say.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't think Big Girl texts, they will call if they had Daisy's numbers directly and see if they're there. But if you're texting back as very much confused Big Girl just watching y'all just text on y'all phone. And this
If
says
you
like,
want to call first, that's fine. I think that
okay.
works. Yeah.
I think I just like, can you tell me the number? And I'm just like,
yeah.
flip it open, open the door, put the satellite, the little antenna out,
Oh no!
and just calls Daisy.
And it rings like once or twice, and then you just hear hello, Daisy Lore.
Daisy, this is Big Girl.
Oh, Big Earl. Sorry, I didn't recognize the number. Is everything all right? I know that the cops came. Are they there already?
Just take a moment, try to figure out how to put on the speakerphone.
Yes.
There's like intentional and pushes the button.
Yeah, I just put it on speakerphone. Thank you, Daff.
Oh, hello everyone. I don't know who else there, but hello. I hope everything's all right.
Hi, Daisy.
Hi, Daisy. We're okay. Short little visit we had. We were kind of, it is a little concerning they came by. Seems like we're okay for now, but might benefit to get ahead of the curve on this since they don't seem to have any good leads right now. You mind a couple of us swinging by with a delivery?
Oh no, that would be delightful. And well, I'm just glad I was able to overhear Oinker talking to one of his superiors. And can we just take a moment? Is that is really his last name? I really
I didn't want to think about it too much, to be honest.
Very appropriate name for this person.
it feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like
A little bit.
just change your name, get another job.
His
What
name
if he
was
did
what?
change his name?
His name was Oink, huh? His name was
Yeah.
Oinker, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I know.
Yeah. I can't talk, but
Haha.
that's besides the point. We figured maybe we could drop something off for you and, well, get a little bit more info in person. Anything we
just-
do to get them on the right trail instead of on ours would be good.
Yeah, they were saying that there's suspicious people here, and I'm like, it's a haunted house. There's going to be creatures of the night here all the time, and literally. But we wanted to look at more about for me, how the bodies look. If you have any information on that, how they look.
Yes, one of the bodies has already been prepared for final rites and everything, and buried. The family was Jewish, so that was important. But the others, if you come down to just the coroner's office, let them know that you're giving me a delivery, and I'll let them know to expect one or more of you. I'd be happy to help out.
It's very appreciated, Daisy. All right. Well, we'll probably be sending
I'll go.
Daff
I'll
and-
go.
You'll go? You'll go?
Yes.
All right. So is it
I
gonna
don't
be the
know
three
if
of
we want to
you?
go Daff. I don't know if Daff should go by themselves. Not because of anything
Oh,
else, but
Max
I
is
will
going
go
with
with-
Daff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll go.
It could be the three of you though.
Could be.
Yeah, could
Yeah,
be. More the
adventure.
merrier.
Yeah, exactly.
Does
I'm heading
anyone
over there.
else drive?
Max knows how to drive.
Okay.
Great. Like, does Max have a car? Curiosity.
Max is not from here. Max came in a vehicle.
Okay. I was like, is Jack gonna be like driving around town, dropping them off, and then going to Auntie's and then coming back to pick them up?
The girl
In,
can't
like,
drive.
truck? Okay.
They're so used
I mean,
to
Daff can
flying.
drive. Just yeah. Daff
I
can
think
drive
Daphne
just
can
to
drive.
vehicles.
I think Daphne can drive, but not Daff. And this is a very important distinction that I want to make.
I think Daphne could drive, but lost her license.
Oof.
You drive through the grocery store front doors. And
And suddenly you're not allowed to drive anymore. Gosh.
Yeah.
You just drive through a few stop signs, and just don't stop.
Aliens possessing dead bodies being possessed by ghosts can't like do anything fun anymore, I guess.
it's ridiculous.
Can't have hobbies.
Have a shirt that says dead bodies possessed by aliens, possessed by ghosts, can't have hobbies anymore.
Get smaller and smaller as it.
I need this.
But definitely Big Girl says that, yeah, we'll be on our way. And see you soon. And I will just snap the phone close.
No goodbyes. No goodbyes.
I mean, we'll see you later. I feel like counts as a
Yeah, bye. Snap.
All right. So is there anything that any of the four of you want to do before you go your separate ways?
I think Jack is giving the like parent friend, like, okay, and if this happens, you can do this, and if this happens, you can do that, and if this happens, you can call me immediately.
Is
And
this
also
Daff
make
is,
sure
like,
everybody has
nodding.
like their drink of choice and their like snack of choice.
Not Jack, the parental figure.
Jack's interesting, busybody in more ways than one, I think.
Jack's not even the oldest person here, by the way, which makes it way funnier.
Max and Jack are the same age.
Don't worry about it.
I think I'm like the oldest, and I'm just like, yeah. I'll call you on the phone. Yes. Can I have my like jasmine tea? I'll have that too, and
All right,
everything.
great.
I'll be ready. Yeah.
I think the entire time Daff is just like nodding along, but you see that they actually have like their phones out and they're not paying any attention.
Yeah,
Amazing.
memes can be a form of snack if you want, you know, if you try hard enough.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm not even hungry.
So yeah, as you guys are getting the various snacks and drinks, Asha and Henry seeing you off. Henry has to stay in the house. He's at the window, like waving to you guys with a little wave. And yeah, guys, get into your respective vehicles and head deeper into Crossroads. And we'll take our quick, 10-minute break here. So if people who are watching go stretch, get a bite to eat yourself for full immersion. Maybe not blood orange drinks, but something maybe just to the left of that. But
Have
we'll
a good
be
meme
back.
or two on us.
A good meme or two on us, yeah. But we'll be back to go ahead and see how the further investigation goes in this town of ours. So thanks.
Thank you.
welcome back to our silly little game in which we are a bunch of freaks and monsters who are definitely sort of being investigated for murder. It's fine. We're not going to worry about that too much. We'll go ahead and dive right back into this little town of ours, and we're going to start with Jack. You're going to go visit your auntie, who runs a self-titled apothecary, which is slowly being pushed more towards general sort of like spices and like plants, like bits and bobs, we'll say. It's not like a nursery, right? It's not about like getting plants to grow. It's about plants that have been, I just don't want to say processed because that's not like that implies things.
Dried, like
Dried, yeah.
dried and sorted, and stuff you'd find at like a spice market or the tea shop. Or that makes sense.
Yeah. And this is also probably closer towards the central downtown part of Crossroads, since your family has been here for many generations, just like this town. And Auntie's is a nice 2-story building. She lives on the 2nd floor that has also, much like the house that you live in, seen many renovations. The front of it, though, is painted a very nice like blue with some green trim. And even though it is mid-October and, let's be honest, most things aren't really growing super well right now, somehow she still has these beautiful, vibrant bushes in the front of her store. And if you ever ask her how she does it, she'll just kind of wink at you and say it's a little magic she learned from her mom. So it is open. The little open sign is in the window, and you can go right on in.
All right. Let's hope I don't get nagged for not visiting sooner. All right. Yeah, I'll park the truck. Kind of in my like unofficial spot. And I'll go on.
Well,
in.
it would be your spot if you stayed here or if you came over more often.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
You go on in, and Auntie Salix is there with her like little uniform. She's got like nice jeans that have like a patch over each knee and a little like orange apron. And her hair is currently pulled back out of her face, as she is arranging one of the displays. She hears the back door open and kind of turns and says, "Now, I know that's not you, Jack, because if it was you, you would have called ahead of time."
Normally that would be very, very true. Special circumstances a little bit, though. And I'm here, which is a good thing.
All right, come on. What are these special? She's gonna pull you into a hug, and I've decided she's shorter than you. She's kind of to reach up a little bit to give you a hug. It's like, what are these special circumstances you're talking about? What's going on? It's 8 a.m.
Well, I'm sure Mama hasn't told you yet, but the cop stopped by Granddad's for a second.
What now?
Something about those murders. I don't know what it is about those murders. They decided to come stop by and say hi.
She kind of glances around. She goes to the front and like flips the sign closed real fast. And she's kind of like goes back to you. She's like, "Now, between us, you didn't have anything to do with that, though, did you? I mean, if you did, you should tell me and I can help, but..."
When would I have had time to be involved in whatever it is that is?
That's what I thought, but I just...
Okay.
No one of your employees, though. You got... I know the little one. He's kind of little knife happy.
He's a little knife happy, but he doesn't leave almost ever. So, no, I don't think it could have been him. How would he even gotten there without one of us,
True, he doesn't seem like he could walk really far or fast.
Fast, debatable. Far, yeah, definitely not. Yeah, no, it's definitely not any of us. That said, I don't really know what's going on. It doesn't seem like the coppers know either. And they mentioned something strange. Said something about all of the victims having this like black stuff around their mouth. Um, and I just, you know, a little bit more than I do about any of that kind of stuff. If I don't know if there's any plants or mixes that could do something like that.
Well, mixes, I suppose if you fed someone enough of certain concoctions, it could cause something like that, but you'd really have to be forcing someone to drink quite a lot of it. Do you know if uh the coroner, she's, a friend to us. She should have run like one of them toxicology reports.
Yeah, some of the others are going to go see go see Daisy soon. So hopefully, I don't know if it'll be that kind of report will be done that quickly, but if
Well, it's not like they have anything else to do there. It's Crossroads. Nothing happens here.
and that's kind of true. So I guess we'll see soon, but figured I'd come and ask and then could help out around the shop for the morning if you want.
Yeah, no, I'd like your help, but and as she goes to around the back and grabs you like an apron as she's doing that. She's like, we've not seen anything like that here before. We've been here quite a while. It doesn't match any of the community members that I know of. And we all have our differences with the other citizens of Crossroads, but for the most part, we don't want anything bad to happen to them. We kind of need them. A little bit like, the like whales or sharks who swim around and they have all the tiny fish around them. It's kind of like that.
Yep, our own little tiny symbiotic fishies. No, yeah. There's some good eggs, some neutral eggs, some rotten, but yeah, I don't think this was any of us for certain. How did Big Earl put it? don't shit where you eat. Sorry. I'm gonna shut my mouth on that one.
Well, you know what they say about plants. You gotta make some fertilizer for them to really grow.
Yeah, but I don't think we need that kind of fertilizer. So
Maybe not that kind, but kind of nudges you and is like, well, if anyone could figure it out, you've got a good head on your shoulders. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to play detective, I just don't want them sniffing around Granddad's tree.
you can't do a worse job of it than the cops. It's been what, like a week, 2 weeks? They haven't found anything out. There's only so many people in Crossroads. After a while, you think you just run into the murderer.
I'm wondering if maybe it's not somebody from in town, or maybe someone from town that we just never would have thought of. I don't know.
Yeah, they always do say that in those documentaries that your Mima likes to watch. He was so quiet, he was so well behaved.
Something, it's always the quiet ones. You never know. Well, anyways, that's not my job. I'm here to help you with your job.
All right. Well, look here. These are some fresh cuttings that your mom gave today. Actually, funny enough, and you should let her know if everything's all right after that visit. I'm sure she'd want to make sure you're okay if you haven't already.
Oh, Jack like carefully pulls out their phone and texts their mom. Like, everything's fine at aunties. See you later.
Your auntie has like a look, like she knows.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Usually Jack's so on top of everything, you know? It's fine.
Yeah, but the two of you go ahead and start, doing little like biodegradable baggies to put the little like herbs in and everything. And as you're doing that and getting to catch up with your aunt, who is like, "Are you still living with the? I mean, make sure I get this right. It's the dead body that's being possessed by an alien that's being possessed by the dead body's ghost, right? You still living with that one?" And as
Daff, yeah,
you're
that's
discussing that,
yeah. Just reminding Auntie of all of the names of the people who live in our family home that we converted into a dead and breakfast.
it's what your grandpa would have wanted.
It's
He
what
had a
he
good
would have
sense of
wanted.
humor.
Yeah.
We pan over to Max, who is driving the party bus, which I call it the party bus, but what kind of car do you think Max has actually?
Max has the typical Honda Civic hoopty. And like thinks she looks so cool as she's driving this car because she does like to kind of lean back with the one arm like this with her elbow kind of on the thing there, but the chair is broken. You can't slide it forward. That's it. That's where it goes. She's kind of mean mugging a little bit. She's got her hand up on there. She's got like I don't know what kind of music is in this universe, but the first thing that pops to my mind is she's playing Tierra Whack as like they're rolling down the street. So that's the party bus.
That does answer my next question, which was going to be who has the aux cord, but it sounds like Max as the driver.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the second most important question is whose shotgun?
Hmm.
I mean, Big Earl, would you take shotgun or would you give it to Daff?
I think I'll give it to Daff because they'll be in the back just like complaining. It's like in my day when we had to travel, it would be like 700 leagues over the ocean just to find just a place to be. And this, what is like, they're kind of just think over what the concept of a car is.
Huh? What? What'd you say, Big Girl? What do you
This
mean by
car
leagues? Of what?
leagues of
In a car?
kilograms. They're trying to convert it back into what is the conversion in like the US conversion, and they're like, I don't. They don't quite know because they're like thinking in whale, and then they're like, okay, maybe I need to think in human, like. And they're the wires across.
Yeah, I think the problem is that Max does know what Big Girl is talking about, but like doesn't want to because like, what are you talking about? That's a depth. That's depth and that's ocean, and we're in a car. Big Girl, what are you talking about? So I think after a point, like Max just kind of it's like and then just kind of like eases back into.
You know how
And
when
it's
you
like,
listen to somebody's auntie, just
yeah,
start complaining in the background for
and you're just
that's
kind of like,
what
yes,
they're
ma'am. Yes,
yes.
ma'am. And
That's
like
what
the lean back is now a little bit tense. It doesn't look as cool anymore. It's kind of like, I don't know what's happening.
keep your eyes on the road.
Yes, ma'am.
Meanwhile, Daff is in the passenger seat, just like knitting, and then like also talking out loud because they're trying to do the math of like how many like fractions of a parsec a league is.
I knew Parsec mentioned.
We doing too much math in this car. Too much math.
Listen, Rain hates math. Too gay for that shit. Daff, totally different.
on Daft's planet, being gay means you're really good at math. Like, it's just swapped.
Thanks, I hate it, but yes.
You guys have a little bit further to drive than Jack to get to your destination. So, Dead and Breakfast is in what we would call kind of the northwest like section of town, kind of on the outskirts, really, like barely within the town lines in terms of if you were to like properly draw that out. And the coroner's office is in the basement of the main hospital building, which is southeast. So basically, as far as you guys can get. And to make matters worse, it's also early in the morning. So you're hitting that commuter traffic. So, all this to say, it takes you guys a little while to get to your destination. You're just listening, poor Max in the driver's seat, listening to like two different conversations and the music, and someone's like honking at you to merge. Like,
I think Big Earl is like saying, like, I told you we should have flied. We should have flied over here. Now we're in this congested traffic. Traffic. Like
Traffic.
in my day.
I don't know why you said it wrong. It's traffic.
but despite your best efforts in a way, you do manage to get to the hospital in one piece. And the three of you shuffle out of Max's poor car and head into the hospital. The front desk staff have been alerted that you are here. And it's hardly the first time that DoorDash has arrived here, right? The hospital staff get it quite frequently because the cafeteria is kind of mid. And you go ahead, you head down the hall to the left, another door, go down set of stairs, down another set of stairs, and then finally you're in what is the coroner's office. And I say office, it's the whole downstairs space is for like the storage of bodies, and then also has like the actual autopsy room, and then Daisy's office, and her door is closed. You just see Daisy Lamar, city coroner, on the front.
Definitely Big Earl knocks on the door and says, Daisy, delivery.
Daff is holding like a DoorDash bag, but it's hand knitted. Also, it doesn't actually say DoorDash. It's in like their language, which I've decided is Frixian.
That's a commitment to whatever bit is happening to Daff right now.
Max is looking at it. It's like, Daff, did you make that in the car on the way here? Okay.
I've got more if we need them.
Okay. That's good.
It's just like full of them now.
How did you get them in my trunk? What are you doing, Dad?
Zess. What are you?
They just like, hold her up and they're just like, shh.
Okay.
Daisy's office door opens and you see a dark-skinned woman, probably medium height, with purple dyed hair. It's like a very dark purple, not quite black, especially in the weird like fluorescent lighting. It's almost like you can see the highlights. And it's weird because she has brown eyes that are just tinged with a slight little line of red. And she looks at you guys like, oh, hi, yes. I was gonna say come into my office, but it's a little bit of a tight space for all four of us. Let's go over here. And she'll lead you guys. She like grabs the bag from Daff, I think. It doesn't fully process that it's knit until like the drink is out, and then kind of looks at the bag and says, This is quite well done. Who made this?
Oh, me. Do you want? And just like they start pulling out handfuls of them.
Oh, I don't even know where you had the. You know what? Just the one I think is enough. But thank you. That's the last time I'm gonna make that noise. He goes, heads to where cold storage is, and just like, I do have a little bit of work to do. Nothing to do with more murders, just busy day at the hospital, unfortunately. But I, you said everything went well with Linker and everything. What can I help you with? Sorry.
Well, I wanted to see the bodies, and I'm kind of interested in what is this black ichor coming out of them.
Right. Sorry, you did say that. Let me here. So, um, you probably already know there's been three of them, right? You guys reading the news, all that stuff. Cool. So, and she kind of is looking at, where the body starts, and here we go. So the first victim, he has already been prepared for burial and everything. His body was released back to his family to follow his religious beliefs and everything. But this is the second victim. We all ready? Some people get a little bit squeamish at this part. She's like holding the door, ready to like pull the body out.
Earl is ready.
Daff is like leaned in.
Least
Max
squeamish.
gives like a really big yawn, but it's not because she's not interested. It's because she's getting chilly and she's a reptilian person.
It's true. It is very cold in here.
It's cold.
Ironically, I think your hair is wilted, which you would think I would use to describe Jack, but somehow here we are. Daisy's just like, all right, pulls the door, slides out the body, and it is a middle-aged female woman, Asian, and she'll not the body. I need to clarify that real fast. It's Daisy says. She says, nope, not the body. Daisy says, this is Jihei's son. She was found by a mailman on the 11th. You can see she's been cleaned up, but there was blood found around here, just pointing around the mouth. Or blood found there, and then the black substance, which I have run a toxicology report on, and whatever it is, it's not of this world. Rain, as
Yeah.
this is happening, you share your brain space with a ghostly entity.
Mhm.
And that ghostly entity seems to be kind of recoiling. There's a sense of distaste, disquiet, disturbance upon seeing this body. And Daisy's just like, and her limbs were all broken. As far as I can tell, thankfully, post-mortem, she wasn't alive when that happened. There were several injuries that were sustained while she was alive. It seems that she was restrained by her wrists and ankles. These injuries are consistent with the other body, which he's here, pulls out second. This is Niccolo Venturi, and he is a younger man, probably, if you had to look at him, like college-aged, Caucasian. And she'll say, similarly, there were same injuries, not like identical, but the same MO. And he was found on the 15th.
Was there
What kind of
any
findings?
Rain, then. Rain. I'm picking Rain.
Okay. What kind of bindings were used?
Looking at them, it's hard to tell exactly what it was. It wasn't rope, but it wasn't consistent with any kind of like rope burns. I'm going to be honest, in my 151 years of being on this planet, I'm still not exactly an expert in this sort of a thing, but if I had to say, I would say maybe like zip ties could do it, something plastic. Um,
It's still like processing the words on this planet, and is like, "Are you a space vampire?"
do you say that out loud?
Yes.
What? No, that's just a saying. Earthlings sometimes say that, uh, like
Yes, I knew that.
on this earth, we say that sometimes.
Yes, not the other Earth. I understand.
Yeah. So Big Earl, you had a question as well?
I was gonna ask, was there any particular like scars or maybe like a tag? Because you know how some people like to tag their bodies, serial killers, or just killers in general.
No, yes. It it's really odd. Um, both of them, despite everything that clearly happened to them, if I had to put down a cause of death, which, well, I did, I had to put down a cause of death, they, the two of them, and the previous victim as well, seemed to pass away due to cardiac arrest. Something just overloaded their hearts and they just couldn't handle it. Which, especially the young man here, he was in very good health. Shouldn't have been any reason for him to pass due to any sort of heart complications.
So, are all the bodies like in the form it was when they picked them up? Like, are they
No, they've
okay?
been like, I guess, put back in, like the arms and legs are put in like the straight positions and everything. They're just like lying, you know, I'm like trying to like deal with my body, but you can't see most of my body. Just lying with their legs straight, arms by their sides. Um, if you do ask though, like Daisy can pull back. They'll all have kind of like a modesty like blanket on them, you know, kind of a thin plasticky one, tarp. And she can pull it back and show you where like the limbs have been clearly like broken and there's still like, you know, marks from when that was done.
Um, so Elliot, I kind of want to do a little magic.
Okay.
So I'm thinking because I have the Infernal Needle, um, I want Big Earl to go into their bodies and fix it to be the original limbs so they can see how they are standing up. Would I be able to do that?
It would certainly be something you'd have to roll for.
Okay.
And I would say above the table, probably ask Daisy before you do anything.
Yeah. I was definitely gonna ask. I'm just gonna say to Daisy, I'm a more visual person. So can I just, if I want to go into that person's body and see where like the marks are, where are the how the body was, and fix it together to maybe see where maybe there's some more stuff that maybe haven't noticed, even if you know I'm trying to figure out the wording, like found the body and fix it to the best of your ability. I have the ability to mend the whole body.
Well, obviously it's a very unconventional situation, and uh, if you think that it would help you get a better idea of what we're working with, I want nothing more than to be done with these murders and not have anyone worrying about dying randomly. Um, so I will say, you have my blessing. Asterisk. be a bit quick about it. I do have an appointment, or I have more work to get to very soon, and I shouldn't take too long.
All right. I think Big Earl takes out like it looks like a very thin needle that's extended to like a very black taunt yarn or what's it called? What's the other thing? Thread.
Thread? Yeah.
Yes. And as they do I roll now or do I describe
Let's
what
say
happens?
what's like the start of the process, and then we'll have you roll.
Okay, so the start of the process, because they can't get out of their body just yet, they basically go to, I think I'm gonna go to the white guy's body because that's the most newest one, right? That's
Yeah,
the
so he was found on the 15th, and today is the 17th.
okay. So I'll go to his body and I pull out the needle and start. I'm not gonna go into detail. To start gathering skin together to form it into a vessel that they usually is. So they're as they insert the needle and the thread, the skin forms together, grafts together naturally. And the only part that is open is at the skull part. And as that is open right now, finally Big Earl just grabs onto their nose, pull it open and pulls it open, and you see a fireball beam comes out and slowly lands into goes into the body through that entry port.
Daisy's kind of like squinting, like, oh, that's bright. Oh, that's kind of uncomfortably bright. All right.
Sorry. You hear the sorry.
Fiery orb. Sorry, sorry, sorry. um,
Smoke. He says sorry.
sorry. The smoke signals style. Like, yeah. Okay. Go ahead, and so we will roll for this. Here there be monsters for people watching. It rolls off of D6. It has a great like tag system where basically if things are associated with tags that you have, you can roll an extra D6, and if you have something that takes away from what you're trying to do, you would like lose a D6. So for this case, Satine, I would say it's probably 3d6 because of your magic tag, and you would add the two highest that you roll. I see a hand being raised.
Is it for magic? Do we do the normal 2d6
Yeah.
roll, or do we do the like they have like the weird little tag thing with the like you rolled multiple dice, but it's like the highest singular one?
Yes,
Can do
so
stuff? Is that
that is true because yeah, we are using magic. Good shouts. So in that case, you would roll a d6 for each word used. So what are your word? What word or words are you kind of invoking, Satine, in your magic?
For their magic, they would say skin mending, form together, graph as one to become a being of my own.
Okay, and I think yeah, I have your character sheet. So I would say roll. So roll me. I said 3d6 originally because I was using the wrong rules. Roll 2d6 and tell me what the highest like on each of those. The highest of the two is right. Not adding them together.
Okay, the highest one is a 6, and the other one is a 3.
Okay, well, good thing is that on a 6 you get an awesome success and you get an extra effect. So, um, go ahead and just what what is Big Earl trying to find? I know you said that they're trying to find like what was wrong with the body and
I
possibly not seen. Yeah.
I think the what's possibly not seen. I really want to because the black ichor is the one thing I'm very interested in because I'm now officially in that body. Does that black ichor affect me?
Oh, okay. So as you are in Nicolo's skin, and kind of, I imagine there's this kind of like rearranging, you're getting used to it. It's like almost when you put on like a new pair of shoes. I'm so sorry for the words coming in my mouth. When you put on a new pair of shoes, especially like really nice shoes, you have to break them in, right? And so there's this kind of like crunching, cracking as Big Earl is getting used to this form and everything.
His voice is just like sounds like the voice of that body. So like as they are coming up, they're just like it takes them a minute, and they're like, and you said, like they say with the voice, and you said this body was like, what is that when somebody is like youthful and everything, and this body's been dead
Right.
spry, yes, spry. They're complaining already that this body is not the spryest body. I have seen better. I have worked with better. Complaining.
Yeah, and it is definitely odd because in at least more recently, you're kind of making things not from like, I was like piecemeal, not the right, but putting things together, not using just one whole skin, and so this is kind of a bit different. And the first thing you do notice is, as kind of discussed, the limbs are real messed up. Um, Definitely were put at angles that the normal human body should not be put at. The other thing, there's this sense of thirst and hunger. Thirst more than hunger, not not like the cause of death. Like Niccolo did not die from either of these two things, but definitely like was not getting access to nourishment the way that someone may want. There is this soreness as well in the throat and like mouth, and a little bit in the lungs, and you kind of focus in on that with your magic as well. And with rolling a d6, what I would say is you can tell that that black liquid was coughed up and like came from the lungs, but it's not a liquid or a substance that this body makes naturally. And as you're starting to settle in and really absorb what you're feeling, and with you're probably very in extensive experience in fleshy forms. I hate that phrase. I'm so
I'm a skin changer, so I gotta. There's gonna be a lot of flesh
a
puns
lot of
going on.
flesh. But with your experience in physical forms, it's nothing that you recognize, and it doesn't feel, it just doesn't feel natural. That's just what you keep coming back to. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel normal or right. It doesn't remind you of anything.
Think I like say that as I'm like, you know how like you like a Gundam coming online, that's what they describe, like engine lights on. I'm just describing it to Daisy how I felt, and then also telling them that like what you just said about like it's not like somebody put it in, it originated from the lungs. That's what I'm getting. So they don't know what that is. I think I looked to like Maxine and also Daph. Have you heard of having liquid appearing in you, like other than blood? But this is different.
I think
I'm made of black liquid.
Huh? You're what?
Continue.
Alright.
Is there like a I'm trying not to be gross.
I
Is
think you might
there
not
like
be gross.
gotta make it weird? Gotta make it weird. But is
Bodies
there
are
like
not gross. It's okay. Bodies are normal. Old bodies are normal. Sometimes they're just dead.
no? What I'm thinking of doing? Can I just like yak out the 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 black liquor out of my body to put it in a cup or something for us?
I'm imagining as you're like you start walking around the room looking for like a cup to do this in or something like a vial. Max, what are you like saying?
I think as Big Earl in his like fiery form was entering this new body, I think all the hair, all of the locks, just kind of like stop really seeming like, because I'm assuming she's understanding in this room she can be a monster, right? Okay, so like the locks kind of don't really look like locks anymore. Now they just straight up look like hognose snakes, and they're all like focusing in on what Earl is doing. And I do have like a tag that I wrote called "Read the Room." I don't know if it's worth like I don't think there's gonna be a consequence, so I don't know if it's anything to roll for. But like I wrote down that Max is like half like, "Are you mad at me all the time?" Because of like she's so anxious, but also she's got all these different like literal points of view. It's not that she can see out of their eyes, but she can get like a sense of like a committee impression of the room around her. And I think that's kind of that hyper awareness is what she's focusing on what's happening in front of her. So I think what as like she's thinking about the question that Big Girl has just asked, she's also like seeing if there's anything outside of this body that she can pick up, anything in the bearing, any extra information now that it's like an ambulatory corpse, if there's anything new that can be learned. And then she's also kind of racking her brain, and I don't think she comes up with anything on like what could make a black fluid. Like I think she just kind of shrugs and goes, bile. I don't know. Last time I heard about that kind of thing, it was like we were learning. It was in a color theory class I took as an elective, and it was about like how the four humors are like red and yellow and white and black, and that was like the world's earliest primary colors. That's all I know. But she's still like focused on like what's going on with this body.
I love it though. I definitely go ahead and roll. Yeah,
Okay.
3d6 and then add the two highest and let me know what that number is.
Okay. I got a 5. I got a 1, a 1, and a 4, so 5.
5.
Wait, did you say 3 or 2?
3.
Okay, good.
So it is a 5, which means that unfortunately, see, you wouldn't pick up anything new, but yeah, it's like you don't feel anything new necessarily. I don't think there's necessarily a consequence, but I am imagining that the snakes start getting really distracted because they're in public and they're like out, and that's like new and exciting for them.
Yeah.
And so instead of picking up anything specific about like the body, you're suddenly kind of overwhelmed with them being like just excited and smelling like the air, and it's got all these like weird smells, and they all want to go explore like the different like parts of the room now.
Actually,
So
can I edit that? Like same result, but I actually just in entering this room wrote down on my sheet that she has cold-blooded as a condition. So instead of being excited, I think the distraction is that they're dozy. They're sleepy.
oh, they're sleepy.
So
Oh.
they can't really focus.
No, I kind of love that though. I love Sleepy Snake. Yeah. So you're trying to like get them to focus, and it's just kind of like doing what
Like
they don't
the
have
one time
thumbs,
when she
but
doesn't
like
want them to be quiet, they're quiet.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get like a little like mental ping back, and they're just doing a little thumbs up like mentally to you, like we're good, we're good. And Big Earl, you are in a coroner's office, so you are able to find just kind of a little like circular beaker. You focus and you're like, just gotta let it out. Just gotta let it out.
I'm thinking like like those really over the top horror movies where all the bowel and stuff comes out the nose and the mouth because it's lungs. So you're coming out of your it's gonna come out your nose and stuff, and that's just dripping out and just in a bottle. Have it in
You
front.
would think that, but the thing is, as you're like getting trying to get it to come out, there's nothing left. There's nothing to come out.
But it was sent to toxicology, right? So there might still be some somewhere.
Daisy, who I imagine is like picked up on what Big Earl is doing, would be like, um, I mean, we've gotten samples that have been, dried. Admittedly, maybe we could find out something new if it was fresh, but also, um, these two have been dead for several days now, so perhaps that could be why you're not able to cause more. Not that I want there to be more dead bodies, of course, but that could be why.
I think what Big Earl then does, like they rotate around, like showing like Maxine and also Daff and Axe if they see anything on the body unusual. Because they can't look at themselves.
Yeah.
So they're asking for y'all, like, hey. How do I look? Is it
Hey,
some like
Max
mark?
goes like this. That's
Max is
great.
also a little sleepy now.
Yeah.
And-
That's so great, Big Girl. It's so helpful. It's so good.
Is there like any marks on my body that looks unusual?
Yeah, as you're doing like a 360, imagine this dramatic 360, the like sheet falling off of you. So, you can see like the Y incision and everything just, hanging out. Daff, again, you hear Daphne, or not so much hear Daphne, but just get this another wave of just like disquiet, not almost repulsion, but it's got this tinge of I would say fear that you haven't really gotten from Daphne before.
Does it seem like it's because these are dead bodies, or like the way that they were mutilated?
So that's the thing, because Big Earl does wear pieces of dead things around. You've never gotten that reaction before.
I think that Daff wants to attempt to use their magic, because their magic specifically involves haunt. And if you'll allow it, Elliot, I want to see if I can either like have Daphne possess the other body, or potentially if somehow I can like, I don't know. I haven't decided if Daphne was into some weird occult shit. Uh, but it's possible. Like maybe somehow bring the spirit of that deceased person back.
So the one that's not Niccolo, it's Jihei. Okay. I think you definitely could do that, or at least attempt to. So if we're using Haunt, go ahead and roll me a d6.
That is a 6.
Damn, okay. So I will let you choose. Do you think that you temporarily possess the other body, or do you want to attempt to bring her back?
I think attempt to bring her back would be the most useful.
Okay.
I think the first one is more fun in a lot of ways, but looking for useful.
Okay. So how does Daph's magic look? What are you doing to cause this?
I think it is probably Daphne doing it. Um, and for being an older lady, I think that Daph normally is pretty spry. Like it's around like a much younger person, or not even a person, and suddenly just gets a little slower, and probably just like starts knitting, but like knitting some like weird occult symbols.
So as you are tapping into Daphne's occult ability, because this old lady was into some freaky shit, which good for her, you know. The room that is already cold plummets, and the lights flicker, and you hear a rush of unnatural wind. You are deep underground. That should not be possible. Everyone's hair and clothes kind of get buffered around in this gust. And then on the slab, previously dead, Jihei that's where we're gonna end for today.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
I can't believe this. Oh, what a cliffhanger.
I feel so betrayed because I've ended on so many cliffhangers with you as a player.
My turn now.
I love a cliffhanger ending.
But all right. Thank you so much for everyone watching. I hope that you've had as much fun as I've had, and hopefully these other four fantastic people have. Before we sign off, just some quick stuff. There's going to be upcoming other cool games on Nerds with Dice, specifically Tuesday tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central. There's going to be more Shadowlight and Persona the Chorus. And then on the 29th at 8:30, there's going to be a Wildheim one-shot, which sounds pretty exciting. Additionally, coming up April 3rd, they have Ironsworn The Valley is returning for the long-awaited finale. And not even last, but last on my list of things to go over in the immediate future, but not least, on April 16th, there will be a Pokemon United one-shot, which will be available on YouTube. You can also find more Nerds with Dice adventures over on their YouTube. You can watch saved VODs. If you didn't get enough of us, you could rewatch this VOD even before our next Monday game, in case you want to, keep up with things. You have a bad memory like me, I get it. And you can stay updated on everything Nerds with Dice by subscribing to Nerds with Dice on Substack. Additionally, they're really awesome. If you have a story you wish to tell or a game that you want to showcase, their creators app is always open, and it can be found on their Blue Sky. That's how I was able to get here. I just sent in an application. I was like, hey, let me do this cool thing. And they said yes, and now here we are, possessing dead bodies. They may not invite me back. It's fine. But before we go, I do want to give these amazing people time to shout out themselves, or Satine, to shout out Satine's self, and just, whatever cool things are happening. I'm going to go in reverse order. So, Allegro, what are you doing? Where can we find you?
Oh, hi there. Yeah, hi, I'm Allegra. They any pronouns. I have been playing Jack, a lovely, not a dryad, but kind of a dryad. You can find me also on Twitch. I occasionally do a silly little stream or two. Lots of variety gaming happening over there, occasionally karaoke. You can also find me on Card and on Blue Sky at Alluring Allegro.
Thank you. Chanel Lees, where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hi, my name is Chanel Lees. I use she, her pronouns, and my voice will hopefully not still sound like this next Monday. But I have been playing Max Morgan, the accidental Gorgon. And I have been trying to stick my fingers and toes into actual play. I've started in February, and I want to keep going, and I'm having a whole bunch of fun. So that's my adventure that I'm on lately, and you can find me here on Twitch. I don't really stream on Twitch, but the easiest way for you to track me down is to find me on Twitch. My name on Twitch is Chanel Lees without the hyphen, spelled the same way. I'm that on most social media. Sometimes I do have the hyphen, sometimes I don't. But if you go to my Twitch channel, I believe my link tree link is on there. So you can find all my stuff there. And if it isn't, then you could also find it on Blue Sky, where my username should be Chanelese without the hyphen, because I think I tried to put the hyphen and they wouldn't let me. Yeah.
They're taking all the hyphens for themselves, I see.
Taking all the hyphens.
All right. Raid, what are you up to? Where can I find you?
So many places because I do a lot of things. So I do my own streaming over on everything is Hampod for like streaming stuff for the Hammer of the Gods podcast. Also make games at Rainy Day Games on itch.io. I also have been running the Quest Collective for the Trans Empowerment Project. I do a lot of stuff. So, just look around on the internet. You'll probably find me.
Perfect. And go ahead and bring us home, Satine. What are you up to? Where can we find you?
Hey, I'm Satine Bonnet. Pronouns my name and none. And you can find me on Batty Bards. I'm the co-founder. So it's a all black, all trans, all queer, ass shaking podcast. Currently we just finished our current podcast. Why am I blanking on it? World Replica, a die RPG game. And we're looking for more people for our Pride Month thing. So keep an eye out. You can find me anywhere where Satine Bonnet is on it. So I'm mostly on Blue Sky, yapping to the skies. So you can find me there on my card and also in Blue Sky.
Thank you so much. And my name is Elliot. You can find me on Blue Sky at Elliot Tabletop. There's only one T between it. It's just Elliot and then Abletop, but saying that aloud is kind of silly. And you can find me there. I will also be here with these 4 individuals next week here so we can continue our amazing game and end at another cliffhanger just to piss Rain off. But again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you all have a lovely evening, night, morning, wherever you happen to be. And thank you for coming visit this town of ours. Bye.